Let me begin with a question. How many of your parents have already started reminding you, you have come to 10th standard now, you have come to 10th standard now? Whenever I ask this question during my workshops, more than 90% of the students raise their hand, saying that their parents started alerting them. And suddenly the atmosphere changes. The same child who happily completed 9 years of schooling now starts hearing, this is a crucial year. This year decides your future. Be serious, no distractions. Your entire life depends on this. And slowly, a subject turns into a burden. A class turns into a pressure cooker. And a student develops something I call the fear called 10th standard. Today, I don't want to teach you how to score marks. I don't want to discuss study plans. We have separate videos for that. And I don't want to discuss timetables. I simply want to ask, are your fears really sensible? Let's start with the first common fear. What if I don't score like my elder brother or sister? A student once broke down during one of my Learn Out of Love LOL sessions. He said, "Sir, my elder sister was a school topper in 10th. Now my parents are asking me to keep up the legacy and I'm afraid whether I can." I felt very sorry for him, not because he was weak, but because he was carrying somebody else's report card on his shoulders. Let me ask parents a question. If two children are born in the same family, do they have same height, same voice, same personality, same talents? Then why should they have the same marks? Comparison is one of the biggest creators of fear. Back in 2007, when I was working as the vice principal of a corporate school, it was an Olympiad school which conducts weekly tests for the students in IIT Medical Foundation. An 8th class child's parent came rushing to my office during a Wednesday saying his daughter's performance has fallen down during weekly tests. I asked, "Sir, what happened?" Every week she used to get first rank and this week she has fallen down to third rank. I requested him to stay for a while and then went through certain result analysis files and slowly turned to parent and said, "Sir, your daughter has not reduced her performance. She has actually improved." The parent was ferocious. He was saying, "My daughter also is making the same argument at home, falling down from first rank to third rank, is it an improvement?" Then I explained the parent, "Sir, if you please notice carefully, last 8 weeks, your daughter has been consistently improving mark by mark and her performance is better than every previous week. Even this week, she has improved 7 marks from the previous week. It is just incidental that 2 of her classmates have overperformed her and became top 2 rankers. But if she continues improving upon her own performance, one day she starts scoring 325 out of 325, then will there be anybody above her?" The success is not measured based on what you achieve, but based on whether you are a better version of your yesterday's self. So, a child should compete with yesterday's version of himself, not with his sibling, not with his cousin, not with his neighbor. The second common fear, 10th standard will decide my entire life. This perhaps is the biggest myth of all. Now, before parents and teachers get worried, let me clarify something. I'm not saying 10th is not important. It is important, very important. But important and life-defining are not the same. Think about it. After 10th comes PUC, competitive exams, degree, higher education, career, professional growth. So your life is a marathon and the 10th standard is one checkpoint in that marathon, not the finish line. I have met students who scored average marks in 10th and later became doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs and successful professionals. I also have met 10th toppers who struggled later because they stopped learning and growing. So yes, give 10th your best effort. But don't carry the burden of believing that one exam decides your entire destiny. The third, very interesting fear, the board exam tag. Let me tell you something interesting. Today I have nearly 2 decades of teaching experience. Imagine my early years of teaching. Say my HOD suddenly walked in and said, "Kiran, take this class immediately." I would become nervous, I would overthink, I would worry, I would fumble, and I would probably get poor feedback. because I'm in the beginning stages of my career. Without preparation, I can't go. But today, after 20 years of experience, if somebody suddenly asks me to take a class, I will be walking in confidently. If I hesitate, you might laugh at me. What changed? Not the classroom, not the syllabus. It is the experience that changed. Now, don't you have experience of exams? From grade 1 to grade 9, almost every year, students write 2 unit tests, 2 quarterly, 1 half-yearly, 1 annual exam across 6 subjects. This is well over 300 examinations. So children, you are not facing an alien event. You are facing another examination. The problem is not the examination. The problem is the label called board exam. Don't allow a small label disturb your psychology for an entire year. With that, let us move on to the 4th fear. What if I fail in an exam? This fear deserves a personal story. Up to 6th class, being trained by my own grandfather, who is a great mathematics teacher, I was very strong in mathematics. But when I was in 7th standard, I became deeply involved in extracurricular activities. Slowly, I stopped doing mathematics homework. Marks started falling. Negligence became weakness. Weakness became fear, and fear became hatred. Common statement, I hate mathematics. After my 10th CBSE examinations, I was a bit extravagant, by the way, gathered some of my friends and took an oath before them that I will never touch mathematics again in my life. And I meant it. Though I had options of taking PCMB, MBPC they call it back home, I took BPC. I was the school topper. I pursued BSc. I became the college topper. But then during my MSc chemistry, the university introduced a paper in general chemistry that contained a mathematics section. After avoiding mathematics nearly for 5 years, I had to face it again, and obviously I scored 0 in that section, and that one section cost me dearly. A classmate of mine who was competing closely ended up 1% more than me, and that 1% extra was a gold medal percentage, and the university was not offering any silver medal for the second topper. I lost a lifetime achievement, not because I lacked ability, but because I had developed an irrational fear. The funny part though, today, personality assessments repeatedly show that logical and mathematical intelligence is one of my strongest areas. As a chemistry teacher, I have taught mathematical concepts. I have guided students through logarithms and calculations. I have even guided my daughter towards Olympiad achievements, when I was time and again realizing that my mathematical and logical intelligence is strong. So the subject was never my enemy, my fear was. And sometimes fear steals opportunities long before failure does. So why do we fear 10th so much? Because everybody around us fears it. Parents fear it, teachers fear it, relatives fear it, society fears it. And that fear slowly gets transferred to students. But fear is a poor teacher. Fear may force temporary effort. Understanding creates lasting growth. I want to end with one message to parents. One honest observation: many parents remain silent about academic gaps during 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and suddenly when 10th arrives, panic begins. Tuition starts, pressure starts, monitoring starts, expectations start. But learning is not built in 1 year. Strong 10th performance is often built on foundations laid years earlier. Just as a building cannot suddenly develop a strong foundation on the 10th floor, academic confidence cannot suddenly appear in 10th standard. Support your children early, not only when the board exams arrive. To conclude, 10th standard deserves effort. It deserves discipline. It deserves sincerity. But it does not deserve fear. Study because learning matters. Study because your future opportunities matter. Study because your confidence matters, not because somebody frightened you. Remember, 10th standard is not a verdict on your life. It is simply one chapter in a much, much larger story. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any mind management issues in managing the fear, managing the exams. All the best.